Today in the circle we've got Natalie, one of the founders of Yoga Haven Las Vegas. We've also got Kaylee, program coordinator and teacher with Yoga Haven. Today they're actually going to talk with us about business and how they started their nonprofit. So we're happy to have you guys on and learn from you guys. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So tell us, man, so how did you guys start practicing yoga?
I started practicing yoga back in, I think, 2000 or so. First got introduced just, from friends, and I've always had a pretty hectic and stressful type of lifestyle, and so I just resonated with it, and that was my outlet for normalcy.
You said normalcy, yeah. I feel you.
So I decided to try yoga for the first time when I got pregnant with my daughter, which is now 11 years ago.
There you go.
And I did it strictly because I heard it's good for breathing, and that's how you're going to have the unmedicated birth that you want. I did it, had that birth, it was amazing.
Did you say unmedicated birth?
Yes. What's called an orgasmic birth,
Oh.
where unmedicated, no interventions, add on an orgasm afterwards. Yeah, it was amazing.
That's powerful.
I had a water birth as well, and yoga was definitely a big factor in terms of being able to just go through it.
Sure.
And, almost go through a trance and a meditation through the contractions.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do it any other way.
Why did you guys start Yoga Haven, Las Vegas?
My co-founder, Honey, who unfortunately isn't here, I've been friends with her for a long time, and she was actually the person who had introduced yoga to me back in 2000. In 2016, she went to India, finally got her yoga teacher training, her 200 hours. She came back and she knew she wanted to teach yoga, but not the traditional way of going to a studio or becoming, a traditional yoga teacher for a gym or whatnot. She just wanted to give back and say, how do I share, her passion and how yoga has helped her in her life. She's lived a very colorful life, and the impact with what it has done for her is much more dramatic than what it has done for me. Mine is a very level journey. She came back and she started her new position at Boulder Boats as our PR manager, and she wrote her first grant. From that moment, that was where it just kind of sprung, just like, hey, it's going to be a nonprofit through yoga, and now we can actually teach yoga for free. So we met in July, and we talked about it, and I was going through my life changes as well, and this was my way of, for my story, it's my way of being able to give back to the community.
That's cool.
And just make a difference that way.
Especially because Vegas is such I don't want to say it's a beautiful city, but obviously it's a crazy city at the same time. So it's good that you guys are doing that. I know you guys do a lot of different events. You guys have taught almost 6,500 students.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge number here.
Yeah.
In 2 years?
Yeah, in almost 2.5 years.
That's impressive.
That's actually, not necessarily, all students on the map, but basically who we've been able to expose yoga to, through the Title I schools that we teach at, from elementary, middle school, and high school. Kaylee teaches a lot of our classes.
You guys have done a lot of stuff downtown Summerlin at, was it True Fusion? You guys have done a few of those. How do you guys choose, where you want to do the event at?
So we split it up into two. So first, the classes that we've done, right, that, the 800 classes, those are all of our actual yoga classes from the program.
Gotcha.
So where the proceeds from our fundraising go to, to have the right teachers, who can commit and have the background like what Kaylee has to teach the population. So that's, where all the proceeds go to from our fundraising. With the fundraising events, we literally just connect to the different local businesses, in Las Vegas.
The main focus, basically, you want to get the yoga information in as many hands as possible, and then hopefully turn that into a life-changing experience.
Yeah, and to kind of go back to what you said of original plan. So our original plan actually for Yoga Haven was to have a brick and mortar. And as we started, and you guys know, being in business, it just had to evolve. And so we're like,
you change it.
we can either wait 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Like we can either wait 3 years to have a building donated and have enough funds to do this, or why don't we just start it now? And let's make it work. And I think that's how we grow, is literally just, you know, being
Throw
able
yourself out there.
to, and making it work. So.
Well, I think part of that is when I first came on, it was like 6 months in, you guys were going, and since then, so many people have reached out and said, hey, can you come to us? We have students that are really interested, and I think the whole reason I was drawn to Yoga Haven was I wanted to bring yoga to people that wouldn't have access or who weren't aware that this resource existed to them. And so I think with brick and mortars, it really limits who we can serve. And so it just evolved that this was the way that this was going to be, because this is how we can touch the most amount of people.
And it
So
probably changes up the energy, not to even cut you
Yes.
off, but it changes up
Yes.
the energy going to different locations.
Right.
That's probably pretty cool, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of the yoga programs are offered specifically to nonprofits.
So we provide yoga mats to
Oh,
almost
yeah,
all
I
of our
saw that.
programs.
Yeah.
Nothing is a cost to them, whether that's yoga teacher coming, we have bolsters and blocks and mats. But I've worked in spaces where it's like, okay, this door is locked today, so we're gonna be outside, or only 6 people can fit, how close can we get?
Sure.
And
yeah.
just having to be open to things that might change or to the resources that might be available, yeah.
Mainly focusing to like a recurring group of people, or are you noticing a lot of?
Well, it depends, right? Like when I teach in a school, some of the schools are like, here's 20 kids, you're gonna have them for a semester, you'll see them every week.
Got it.
So in those situations, they tend to be populations that will come back repeatedly or even asked to come back in future semesters or years. I also work at different shelters, and so, you know, I work with Safe Nest, and they have residents that are there anywhere from a week to 2 months, and so I might see somebody for a couple classes, or I might see somebody one time, and to me, I just want to give one person one chance to see what the practice has to offer.
Did you ever try yoga before?
I tried it, but definitely I think expert level yoga,
Okay.
not entry level
Okay,
yoga.
yeah.
And you guys say when, and I'll teach a class.
You know what, I might be on board for that.
Cardio too, you know?
Natalie knows I've been BSing for a long time. Every time I say we're going to do something, no, we need to make it happen. We need
Yeah.
to definitely make it
At
happen.
least from, like you mentioned, the mental aspect of yoga, I think
Mhm.
is such an important piece, and especially revolving meditation. And I think if you gear more towards that, you might have more people be willing to learn it, and it's such a great thing to be passionate about, it seems like.
Yeah, for sure.
Personal goal for me, one, I'd like to go on a 1-year sabbatical with my son and just travel around the world and, you know, just experience different cultures, kind of just have an open itinerary. And coupled with that is to just have a minimalist lifestyle.
My personal goal, I'm creating spaces or a space, connecting with people of like minds, and building something that is long-lasting and meaningful, and that again empowers the community to stand and to advocate for themselves. Yoga Haven, what's in store for us?
So I think for Yoga Haven, it's truly, you know, in 5 years from now, having yoga accessible to all the different organizations out there as a tool for trauma recovery.
Yes.
And so that it doesn't have to be a question of like, how can they pay for it, you know, how do they get it, how can we get enough funding? So money should not have to be the issue of being able to practice. It shouldn't be the barrier, right?
That's a good point. Where can people find you guys at? Because how can we donate and, you know, give out some of your social media and websites and all that?
yogahaven.org.
Okay.
The website is pretty expansive in terms of just, you know, what are our programs, what are we about, and there are many ways of being able to donate. You know, you can do a one-time donation and, you know, help a couple classes, or you can actually have a monthly recurring one where you can you can fund the starter kits that go to the schools, you know, for as low as $20 a month.
That's cool.
All the way to, if you really want to be a temple donor and donate $4,000 and fund a full program for a year.
That's cool.
You know, for maybe there are people out there who have specific passions for a certain organization or a certain population. Sure. Be it from women's support centers, from rape victims, you know, going to youth support, Title I schools, drug recovery, and many others.
Well, and we also accept donations for mats, bolsters, blocks.
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's good.
definitely.
Well, we'll definitely put that out when we post you guys' interview, and we're happy to have you guys in the
Yeah,
city.
definitely. That was very
To do-
informative.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys hanging out with
Yeah,
us,
this
and
is fun.
we
Yeah,
support
thank
you
you
guys.
so much.
Yeah, definitely. And then when we put you guys out, it'll be at bakercircle.com on our website and all the platforms. So
Awesome.
Yeah,
thanks,
great
guys.
talk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.